This is Total Disruption Boardroom Battleground, where bold entrepreneurs step up and they put their businesses to the test.
Over the next 12 weeks, we'll push our contestants beyond their limits in branding, marketing, leadership, strategy, scalability, and profitability. Every move counts. Every misstep, a crucial lesson. Every victory, a moment to shine. Behind the scenes, a world-class production team will showcase their business like never before.
In the end, a single superstar is going to rise above the rest.
This is Total Disruption.
Boardroom Battleground.
Welcome back to Boardroom Battleground. I'm Dr. Clendenning. I'm a growth strategist and a mindset architect. And the guy who knows that scaling a business doesn't just stretch systems, it stretches the people.
And I'm Michael Libercci, operator, coach, and unapologetic truth teller. Growth isn't a straight line. It's messy, painful, and necessary if you want to build something that lasts.
Last week, we focused on client relationships, how to turn transactions into trust. But this week, the spotlight shifts to what happens behind the scenes when business start to scale.
Because with growth comes friction. Inside the team, inside the systems, but mostly inside the entrepreneur.
Today, we visit the pressure points, moments where things strain, stretch, and sometimes they even snap.
Because behind every breakthrough, there's a breakdown. And right now, we're showing you the cracks and what it takes to push through them.
We're going to explore the real challenges our entrepreneurs face as they try to grow in real time.
You're seeing real struggles, raw decisions, and coaching moments that will either create momentum or stall it out.
And in the boardroom, we're watching it all through the four key lenses: execution, growth, strategy, and leadership.
And just ahead, a shift, because after the growing pains becomes clarity, vision, alignment, and what happens next.
Now let's step into that struggle and see what real growth looks like, warts and all.
So as we talk about the firewalkers and we talk about the cower scatterers of the group here, as we round the table of okay, who's gone through the most growing pains? And then who will continue to have them?
It's been said, this is not an original quote, but it's been said that ridicule is the burden of genius. And being a futurist for several decades now, I've definitely had my shots fired. And, a lot of people can misinterpret, thoughts on what the future holds.
Corey is trying to, eat an elephant with a toothpick. There's so much going on with him trying to get the AI built to market, investors, marketing, users, refinement. That guy has got a lot of growing pains and will continue to have growing pains because once it's on the market, if it doesn't catch like wildfire, he needs an influencer strategy or he needs a hard dollar cost to make that thing really go. Because it's bulky, not bulky in and of itself. AI is bulky. It requires tons of data, tons of storage, tons of moving parts in the background that don't just sit around waiting for people to use. You've got to build, outfit, get the space.
Corey is a very hard nut to crack. I think I finally kind of where I feel that he's kind of like, hey, I'm getting some value from AP but boy, sometimes he could talk very high level.
And, there's a natural resistance toward, the future unfolding. And so it has been challenging trying to get people to understand how existential some of this is. It has been emotionally trying to have people try to poke so many holes in something that literally don't know anything that they're talking about, right? It's people that don't understand anything about how computers work or how machine learning and algorithms work. Trying to get us to think about things differently, I guess, is a blessing in disguise, but really just that knowing where things are headed and feeling like some people don't care and that most people don't get it and feeling as though there's a target on our back because we're doing something that people don't fully understand yet, I think has really been challenging.
I think his biggest pain is the fact that they don't know what they don't know. Like the system is evolving in such a way they can't truly predict
where it's going to go, what it's going to do, how it's going to do it. They can't really see that just yet.
With loving I don't know, right? Because I'm not the key decision maker and things. I don't know what's happening at the moment. What I would imagine our differentiators should be, and what I kind of brought to the table, is this human in the loop. So actually humans helping the AI come up with outcomes. Wealth distribution, so universal basic income, we have that built in.
How do you deal with what you really don't know so fast? So many business owners, like an unknown will come up in a quarter. Something will change in the marketplace, something will change somewhere else. But for Corey, every day something new happens, something brand new. And I think that's the official growing pain. That's the struggle they're going to have, is how are they going to continue growing this in such a way without it, almost feeling like a burden? Oh, I got to figure it out for this day. Oh, it's moving too fast for me. And just literally going, and I think Corey organically is pretty good about this. Just saying, you know what? I'm good with it. That's cool. I'm excited about that. What's next? What can we learn from it? What do we understand?
It's frustrating when people externally don't understand what you're doing as a business, but then to have people internally also having different visions and different, maybe even objectives, can make it that much more challenging.
With Corey, again, he's got team issues, right? So his team is scattered a little bit. He's trying to pull everyone in and do the best he can, right? Because he has successful businesses. So does his team. He's trying to get that focus on loving his AI.
We set some lofty goals, and I'm like, okay, now it's time to grind. Now it's time to get in there and work hard to make this company, scale this company so we can reach more people. Chad, appreciate your pushing me beyond my, I don't know, I guess what's the word is I'm looking for, my inhibitions. I don't know what the word is, but let's do this. But as I told Jake and Mike in the session, it's not an obstacle, man. It's just a high step. So I appreciate you pushing me. Let's do this. Let's grind.
I'm going to talk about Mark. I think, again, Mark has had the most growing pains through the show. He was brand new to the speed of how we do things.
So when you train with us, you're going to build a confidence, capability, and mindset to face any threats with clarity when it matters most.
He was brand new to this type of coaching, brand new to a lot of the things. Wasn't brand new to doing the things he was doing. He just did them at a real low level. And his growing pains were massive, but he plowed right through them. And I got to say, I'm so proud of him. I'm really proud of him. He's done probably the most amazing transformation out of everybody, from that soldier to, sort of that business guy, right? And the speed and which his team's on board and everybody's locked in and everyone's moving down the road. It's an incredible experience and incredible transformation.
It's definitely a leap of faith as a family, but also at the same time, I would have not started this journey coming out of retirement, going all in. If it wasn't for her support, as in go do it, so for her belief in me,
But that wasn't right away.
Oh God, no.
That wasn't a right. That was a prayerfully long season of my life.
Yeah.
To get on board. Not that I didn't support you, but just that money piece was very nerve-wracking for me.
And it still is.
Mark with growing pains. Mark is used to suffering. They've taught him. The government has taught him how to suffer in certain situations and overcome. He knows how to do it. He's really good at it. He's a great leader in that regard. His growing pains are going to be, I will tell you it's money. I will tell you it's money. And it's a limiting belief that X amount of dollars is a lot of money. And we have to change that belief to X amount of dollars is an investment to create Y amount of dollars. So it's a little bit of a mindset shift And the other one for Mark, probably his biggest growing pain is being public, like being okay to say, I'm good at something. And this is an amazing organization. We'd love for you to come and be part of it. And just being okay with being public is probably his biggest growing pain. And that's going to take time because he's had a lifetime dedicated career in the armed forces that have taught him to be humble to the point of silent. And now as a business owner, you can't be. You got to be visible. You got to be out there. And so just becoming authentic with himself in that, I think that's where Mark's biggest growing pain is going to be, and he's going to be able to overcome it.
One of the things I didn't do well is plan out all the costs and fees associated with this starting the construction. And I'll give her credit on this one. She has seen my stress on this, and she worries about money more than I do. But the support she's given me has been extremely encouraging, and for me to be able to figure it out. And I know she's dying on the inside watching me.
His team's dialed in, right? His growing pains are going to be sustained use. That guy, I-68, has got to become a household name in that area for firearms training, self-improvement, competency, the whole package that rolls around that confidence piece that's usually tied to the responsibility of firearms.
I understand what you're doing. He was clear and concise, and I feel we could collaborate. That did not come across with Emily. It took a good month and a half. I couldn't even get the company name right. I don't know what you do.
And realizing that it's all a balancing act, right? When you want multiple sources of income. So we have like the consulting on the CFO side, and then how I can apply some of those leadership abilities more towards my LifeWave business. So I think that's one area I've lacked this time in building LifeWave, is applying that same leadership and development of my staff into, building a team for LifeWave and helping them reach their potential through income generating activities as well, and sharing the stem cell patches and changing people's lives in their world.
Emily's doing everything right. I think she just needs to keep, stay the course and let people come around to what she's doing. Now, it's going to be hard for her to make money doing it, I think, until she really does get a team. But she has a laser focus. She gave me some numbers. She said, Corey, if we had X amount of people on these patches, we would each make X amount of money per month.
Always have been a big person on building relationships and getting to know people and seeing how you can help them.
Listen, Emily, I've said it until I'm blue in the face. Emily's her own worst success story and her own worst enemy. What I mean is she's had such a massive, massive positive result from the LifeWave that she, I feel like, thinks everyone should just instantly identify with that and just flood the market with LifeWave. I really feel like that's her thought process, and she's way off. She's had the positive. Not everybody's going to have those same results. There's that level of skepticism. The growing pains where she is going to have to come into it, she's got to get in line with herself. Here, and move all that forward. Not transaction, not just emotion. She's got to get everything in line and move that forward.
So when, Emily, you're speaking, you want to speak with the energy of you're excited to share and you are giving hope.
Well, I think it's been redefining my brand, those calls with Jen and then working through those things that are sometimes painful, but then shifting once you find out things about yourself and where you want to go with it.
Emily on growing pains is same thing as it always is, right? Her growing pain has got to be getting away from the money thought process of it, because she comes out of the financial world. She comes out of the financial universe, being an accountant, being, managing money for the U.S. Olympic Committee. It's a major thing. And she comes from a very corporate fixed mindset around why the money's important. Now, the money is important, don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is, once she goes for the value of the product versus the price and the benefits of the product and how it creates people, and let the secondary and you can make a bunch of money be a cool thing. That's a secondary. That's just for benefit. Leave that in the secondary space. I think her biggest growing pain is just going to be the benefits and the values of the product. And then the byproduct is the residual income.
Yeah, frustrated, and it's the entrepreneurial journey, and I know it's part of it. The backstory is simple. We're looking to buy a house in Scottsdale, Arizona, to expand operations into that market, which has been a goal of mine for a long time, especially during the winter. I'm sick of the winter months here. I'm just not really big on being cold, and living in Colorado just kind of comes with that. If I was a skier or a snowboarder, I totally appreciate why people love it here during the winter, but I don't. I've been trying to get out of here for.
I mean, with Donnie, he's Eeyore right now. He would be miserable if he did have $1 million.
We're in the process of, I guess, staging over remodeling the house that we live in right now, just so we have a place to live, but taking on another really substantial house payment to go with my already substantial house payment.
He doesn't like his job or his business, I think is the problem with Donnie, but I think I think somewhere in there he's got a good heart.
It's going to get very pricey very fast compared to how I had this deal structured when I initially agreed to do it. Again, nature of the business, so you can't take it personally. You can't let it get you down too far, but it definitely has impacted me.
With his stuff, he has definitely has to find the right people, that right, correct alignment. His growing pains, again, he's his own worst enemy. I feel like I'm saying the same thing over and over again.
We closed on our Scottsdale property on Thursday, and I needed $60,000 kind of last minute to put that deal together.
He's got to get his systems down. It's to spend more time on the inside of the business and a little less on the outside of the business. Or put the outside of the business on autopilot and focus on the inside for exponential growth.
Challenge is, of course, that still a seasonal business for me. So making sure not to over celebrate the wins until this Arizona thing is running, because every year we have this big boom in this April-May season. It's I guess probably much like a farmer, right? You plant all these seeds in the winter, then it starts to grow in the springtime. And you're like, yay! But then you realize you're heading to another winter in about 6 to 7 months.
At some point, he's going to have to decide he's probably not the one to do all the administrative management duties of the business. He's great at what he does, but on the front end, this is where goes back from systems several episodes ago. He's got to put in place certain key elements in the bottom, and in those elements include the right hires, not the hire right now who's good for the business today, but a hire who's better than the business is today, where the business is going 5 years from now. And he's got to trust that they're going to do the job, but verify they're doing the direction that he wants to go. So he's getting the right clients attracted to him. So I think from a growing pain standpoint, he's got to forecast out, where is this thing at 5 years from now? What's it doing? What am I doing? Who's running the ship?
At first, we realized that my timeline is not very realistic. That moving to in the way that I want it to be realistic. I want it to be no loans, no grants, just my own dime, perfect happy world where I don't have to spend millions of dollars or even hundreds and thousands of dollars. I think sometimes I like to live in this little fairyland where I can attain all of my goals and keep it under $1,000. So that was hard for me to realize at first, that I can't do it all by myself and I can't do it all on my own dime. And so kind of shifting my mindset to realizing, okay, I'm going to need some external help financially if I want to move into that much larger building by next year, which I would love because, we're already running out of space here. And so realistically, we're not going to have enough space in the next year. So we need the space to be able to keep growing. And I never, ever want to turn away students. But scheduling is honestly getting to the point where it's a little bit scary. Like, oh, well, Monday through Wednesday, all of our rooms are full between 4 and 5 p.m. So we can't have you come between 4 and 5 p.m., which is hard because that's prime teaching time. So anyways, I think it's
it's been helpful for me to see, okay, I do need some outside help. I can achieve my goals. It's just not quite the way that I thought I was going to, and that's okay. You know, we don't ask for a lot here at Upbeat, but I think what we're asking for is very reasonable, and what we're hoping for is very reasonable. So I know that we'll be able to do it. I just have to work on changing how I view things.
Sam's growing pains, she's starting to overcome them a little bit because she's starting to believe her number one growing pain is going to be the belief that she is an amazing business owner and doesn't have to have a job to support the business. Right now, she is funding part of the business through having that job. She is going to have to, that's her biggest growing pain. Once she makes that step, and here's the deal, it's not a leap. This isn't a chasm to jump across. This is like, here's the pencil on the floor, step across it, is all the more that she's got to do in that space. When she does that, her model's franchisable. Her model is licensable. Her model can absolutely run on a national and global scale. No problem. The model is there. Sam just has to make that decision. She's just a little scared right now.
And if we close down, that's just one more failed music business that doesn't get to continue bringing joy into people's life, continue improving the community, continue to bring love and peace to the community and to the world.
We need to look at her growing pains. We're getting out of her own way, right? She's in her own way. She's been blessed with so many fortunes, whether it's the building become available, opportunities knock, this coaching and TV show came along for her.
How do we differ from other music studios? We focus on the individual and are more concerned about your happiness and building a lifelong love of music that will stick with you, whether you make a career out of it or decide to keep the music around the campfire.
She's got unlimited opportunities right now. She has got to seize them. Her growing pains are going to be that sustained diligence to do the things that aren't fun.
She knows that she needs to scale up and find the right people. Again, it's a case of who do you have on the team right now, and are they in the right role, right? If you just have them as a teacher and an instructor, great. But can they offer you more support in another area so then you could bring in another instructor to start growing, right? Someone that's just passionate about instructing, but this person's got a special talent that they could handle admin or whatever.
And that'll be a challenge to see. I'm gonna look forward to that, post show to watch her grow.
I think one of my biggest fears with this company is that it will someday reach the point where I might have to make a hard decision and decide to close it in general. If we never reach that point where the company is making enough money to actually have a profit to be able to expand and grow and to potentially franchise outside of Utah or make more businesses elsewhere, if we're not able to expand, I can't stand to think of the day that I would have to make the difficult decision of deciding, as a business owner, this is no longer fiscally reasonable anymore and have to close it down.
This is always going to be a thing. This is going to be a thing for everybody because there's always unforeseen things that come up in their business that are just that. They're unforeseen. They're unaccounted for. They're unplanned for. That's what the growing pains are. If we could plan for every conceivable, plausible outcome in every conceivable area of our business and just run the play, well, everybody could do it. Everybody could do it.
Next time on Boardroom Battleground. They push through the pressure. Now comes the real test.
It was just awesome to be able to share his music with the world.
It was almost like that was my job.
If the vision isn't clear, they're not going to survive the final phase.
It really starts to have an amplification.
Time's running out. The wrong move won't end the journey.
Click in below and get a hold of me today.
But it will end any chance of winning.
Today wasn't just about winning. It was about withstanding. Because growth does not always feel like progress. Sometimes it just feels like pressure.
We saw it in every corner of the competition. Communication breakdown, emotional weight. And for Donnie and Samantha, hopefully a tipping point. They're deep in the struggle right now, and certainly not alone.
But here's the truth. What you push through shapes you. These challenges, they're not distractions from growth. They are growth.
The question now isn't, can you handle it? It's what you carry forward and what you finally leave behind.
Because next time, we're going to clean the lens. It's not about surviving anymore. It's about having a clear vision.
And for some, that shift might not come soon enough.